Good morning, YouTube. Shocker, I was just on Cars and Bids looking at some cars for sale.
You are literally obsessed. Like, if you didn't know him, you'd be like, oh, he's got like 25 million girlfriends because he's always like, but no, it's all cars that he's obsessed with.
Yeah, remember when we were in the hot tub the other day? I have the rash, unfortunately, remember it by. Not from you. From the hot tub wasn't clean.
It's getting worse.
You forgot to put the chemical in the hot tub.
I did not. I was out of town.
I'm prone to get skin conditions, and so I had a little bit of a hot tub rash coming from that. But
why is it my fault?
Because I don't. It's not hot tub's not my job. But anyway, remember what I just randomly said in the hot tub? You know, just like. Did you know there was a Bugatti Veyron for sale?
You did. You absolutely out of thin air.
It was a topic of conversation. So by the way, did you know there's a Bugatti Veyron? I'm bringing a trailer currently right now.
Yeah.
It's just where my brain goes.
Right.
So in a romantic couple in a hot tub moment that later I have a rash from, not from April, but from the hot tub. You know, the folliculitis or whatever they call it. I don't know if you really want to see it, but it's a thing. Anyway. I'm looking at cars all the time, and I have a rash. But one that has me very interested on Cars and Bids, because what the heck do you do with this? The 2023 Lordstown Endurance. I'm very itchy.
I haven't heard of
the Lordstown Endurance. It is an electric pickup truck.
I can't get over your rash thing.
So Lordstown, Ohio.
Okay, so that's the
is
name.
the place that this is built. They took over a General Motors plant to build another electric pickup truck, sort of like Rivian, but I think it's targeted more towards fleet, more basic, more simple, bare bones, robust. But it turned out the range was very low.
Okay.
Like with their battery, it was like 180 miles of range, which people went like,
yikes.
no, because the Tesla's 340.
Right. So you'd never go in this direction.
It would be very tough to own. But I guess for like fleets just driving around the city, it made sense. I think it was supposed to be at a lower price point. Anyway, they didn't make very many.
Right.
They were struggling for a long time. They initially hired over 1,000 people to work in this factory in Ohio. Then they had to cut them all out. They were supposed to have somebody related, I think, to Apple come in and save them a big investment. That didn't pan out, and then just poof, like that, gone. But there is one here for sale. It was a test vehicle. It only has 200 miles on it. And
quad electric motors.
Yeah, so just on every wheel, there's an electric motor with the battery. It's supposed to be very simple.
Right.
But here's the thing about it. No certificate of origin for a brand new car. No title.
Right.
Sold on a bill of sale only. So you can't register it. You can't drive it on public roads. Like, you can't register it.
Okay, why wouldn't it have a title? That doesn't make sense.
Because it's a pre-production car that was for testing purposes only, so they never made it into production with them.
Right.
And
is that not something you can kind of go to your local DMV and be like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, VIN swap it with like a 95 Chevy 1500? No, I don't think so. What does somebody do with this? Do they buy it for the Museum of Orphan Cars? I mean, that's basically all you can do. The current bid is $18,000, something with 200 miles. There's a little bit of weirdness going on with the ad, because in the driving video, there's like an error light that he says there's no error light. But it's a test car that you can't title, you can't drive. And what do you think of the look of it?
I like the look of it. It reminds me of a stormtrooper, but I just think the lines are cool, and they went and did something different. And I always appreciate when builders do something just a little different, not normal. I love the taillights that wrap around the back end. That's a really sweet look. Yeah,
but it's just a truck that never made it to production. I mean, they were so close. They bought the GM factory to take it over and know how to do it, and then it just died. And it looks a lot more trucky than, say, the Cybertruck that looks like a triangle. And interesting body lines with the trim there, going with the headlights and around down the side and everything. It's cool, but obviously a big fail. It's more like Tucker than, say, DeLorean, because DeLorean actually made production. They made 10,000 cars. Tucker, they only made, like this, only 40 or 50 or so.
Right, but I don't know if they had any innovative features like Tucker had. It's just kind of they tried and they didn't kind of get muscled out like everyone says happened to Tucker. So
place your bets. By the time this video is over, you can look and see what the final price would be. But I just can't imagine, like, who's going to pay more than $18,000 for this? The current bid's $18,000.
Wait, is that like a decal on the side of the door?
Yeah, for like test vehicle stuff.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a cool look. I like it actually better than the Rivian. Like, the look of it looks neat. I think it's a cool. It looks like a futuristic car.
Somebody could use it as like a vehicle around the farm if they have like a large property or whatever, and don't have to worry about range. But once again, it's a bankrupt company where they only made 40, there's no part support for this at all. So what happens when it breaks?
Yeah.
It's already an issue with like Lucid, where their service is terrible. Fisker with their Ocean, even though they have 10,000 cars out, like the service department is non-existent to terrible because the company's in so much trouble. So yeah, what do you do? I mean, it's worthless the moment you buy it. You're buying it just to say I have the only one for who knows what reason.
Right. Yeah, that's a lot of money to not be able to drive it on the street. What would happen? Like, let's say you are driving on the street and you get pulled over. What do they, like, repossess the car and take it away?
They would tow it. It's an unregistered vehicle. Get it registered or pay a fine. If you're a dealer, you can have a dealer tag and run it on that. I have a dealer tag, so I could run this truck, I suppose, if I wanted to, for resale purposes.
Right.
But
No.
Yeah, there's not enough car dealers around to do that. So what do you do? I think it'll be interesting what the final bid is tomorrow, but place your bets. I'm going to say it doesn't sell for over 20. What do you think?
Well, I don't know, because a lot of these bids, like the last hour, the last half hour, it's when they really start coming up. And I'm surprised it's at 18 already with about 16 hours left to go.
Right.
So I'm going to say 27. We'll see what happens.
Wow.
I mean, batteries are expensive. You could repurpose the batteries for the car, possibly.
Well, I'm not sad about this bankruptcy, even though it is, obviously it was going to be a big employer for this town, named after the town, and now it's a big black eye with an idle factory. But I am sad about another bankruptcy.
What is that?
Red Lobster.
What?
Great segue there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, are they really bankrupt?
Oh, yeah. They're closing up. Ton of locations. Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Right.
They had new owners that did some shady things, to basically gut the company out, and now they're bankrupting it. Anything of value's been done now.
I mean, everything with inflation is a little more expensive, and I always feel like you go to Red Lobster because it's got a chain restaurant that's not expensive, but seafood there actually is, so it's like kind of a fake out.
They do that bottomless lobster and bottomless, shrimp and stuff, and of course they're going to get bankrupted by people. It's insane.
Yeah.
You can't do that. But I think it's more of the economics of it and some shady VC stuff. But yeah,
that's very tragic.
No more Red Lobster. Well, they may come back in some way, shape, or form. There's still some restaurants I think operating, but definitely on life support.
I like where this has gone. It's gone from your hot tub rash.
I know.
To this EV truck, to Red Lobster.
I follow restaurants with interest because in a previous life, I still am involved with Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, but opened a bunch of stores all over the country in a period of rapid growth, and that growth has slowed down for Freddy's. They're still growing. A few stores have closed in a few markets, but overall they've been pretty good.
Yeah.
The old established, basically places where they took for granted the name and the quality really slipped, have just been suffering like crazy. So there was a list actually of restaurant chains with their biggest closures, like as far as percentage last year, and I couldn't believe it. So Johnny Carino's.
I don't know that. Is that a Kansas thing?
It's Italian, yeah.
I don't
They were in Kansas, they're gone. In 2023, they closed 30 stores, 14% of their stores.
Yep.
I thought it was pretty good. Quiznos. Everywhere.
What?
The screaming hamsters and stuff. 142 stores closed in 2023. 14.5% of their network.
That's so sad. They've got good sandwiches.
Yeah. Macaroni Grill, once again, left Wichita a few years ago. In 2023, 16% of their stores closed. 31 of them. I miss Macaroni Grill.
I've never been to Macaroni Grill. It doesn't make sense. Macaroni on a grill. No one puts macaroni on a grill. It doesn't make sense.
Their own brand of Chianti that was actually pretty good. It was very nice. They hire waiters and waitresses to sing opera with varying degrees of success, and that was a little annoying when they would start belting. It's like, I just want to eat.
I've never been there.
Joe's Crab Shack, 30 locations, 18.9% of them gone.
That's sad.
TGI Fridays.
Terrible.
How much flair do you wear? All that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I haven't been in one of those in a million years. They're not here in Kansas.
Like the food just seems like it's not real. Like it was just like a plastic put in the microwave, and it's not good.
They're open later. I feel like when I'm traveling and it's like, what's still open?
Right.
It's like, oh, TGI Fridays is open late. Okay, it's either that or Waffle House.
Yeah.
So, yeah, TGI Fridays, 20.2% of their stores, 233 locations.
Wow,
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Fuddruckers.
Yep.
Have you been in one of those before?
I believe so, a long time ago.
Yeah, same. I don't think they're in Kansas anymore, but they were at one point. 55 locations closed, 21.4%. Corner Bakery Cafe. We went in there for like a breakfast not too long ago somewhere.
I like
Were we
Corner
in
Bakery.
San Diego or Chicago or something? Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
24.6% closed, 104 locations.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many little local coffee shop and breakfast places, you know, that serve little pastries and things that it's kind of interesting to see the resurgence of that kind of mom and pop coffee thing being so popular. Aubon Pain, I have no idea what that is, but they've lost 45% of their stores, 100 locations.
In airports all the time, sort of like a French-esque type of delicatessen, perhaps.
Aubon Pain, okay. Oh, Charlie's, never heard of it.
I don't know, Charlie's.
54.9%, 64 stores. So 250 at their peak in their heyday. That's a lot. And then Boston Market is the big one.
Yeah.
Like, I lived on Boston Market when it was in Kansas. They're gone now.
I feel like everyone did. Like, it had its moment. Maybe in the 2000s, was that? Or the
90s for sure. Like, late 90s, yeah.
Yeah, but now, if you eat it, it instantly tastes like Boston Market because they have their specific, like, over-salting, over-spices and everything like that.
Yeah, but I just remember, like, craving their rotisserie chicken and mac and cheese and their mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
And I think there was definitely a change, or maybe a change in my taste buds, or a change in their quality, or something like that.
Right.
And then the last time, a few times I ordered it, was like blah. Then they were gone.
Yeah.
So that is the worst one of the bunch. 67.5% of their stores closed in 2023. 91 locations, which is crazy. 91 stores represents more than half, because I feel like they were everywhere not that long ago.
Yeah.
So
the economy's not doing great, I guess. Market's not doing great.
There's just it's a very saturated restaurant market, and a lot of new concepts, and these old names, some of them I've never heard of, I suppose. These old names just, they're not going to make it. So, yeah, hopefully I make it with this rash from the hot tub. Yeah, I'm very uncomfortable right now. And actually, we're leaving on a trip where, in the Bahamas, where I'm supposed to be like, you know, shirtless dad playing with my kids, but instead I look like a leper. It's wonderful.
A hot leper, so that's good.
Yeah. But before we go, April, you wanted to show off your gift.
Look at that. You can't touch it with your leprosy. But I got this beautiful Grand National jacket.
A fan sent it.
How amazing.
It says Lauren on it.
Yeah, that's right. Well, this seems like it's an original, like back from '87. How epic. Don't ruin it.
It's pretty gross.
It's awful.
It's pretty gross.
And look at the back.
Thank you so much for watching. If only I had a good hot tub person, you know, that kept my hot tub, like, clean and sanitary. It was somebody's job, and they failed. And I'm prone to skin conditions, so...